Boiled chicken is boring. But the problem is, in these 18th century cookbooks, that's all you find. Boiled chicken, boiled chicken. The only way to elevate boiled chicken is an amazing sauce. And that's what our recipe has. Thanks for joining us today as we savor the flavors and the aromas of the 18th century. Today's recipe comes from The Modern Art of Cookery Improved by Anne Shackelford. This is 1767. Let me read to you this recipe. It's called Chickens Boiled with Celery Sauce. Put 2 fine chickens into a saucepan to boil, and in the meantime prepare the sauce. Take the white part of 2 bunches of celery, cut about 1.5 inches long, boil it till it's tender. Then strain off the water and put it into a clean saucepan with 1/2 pint of cream and a piece of butter rolled in flour. Season with pepper and salt, set it over a clear fire, and keep it stirring. That's probably really important, till it is smooth and of a good thickness. Have ready 6 rashers of bacon. Take up your chicken, pour your sauce into the dish with the rashers of bacon and sliced lemon. That sounds great, doesn't it? It reminds me of some recipes that we cook at home. This is probably the best way to do this chicken. Now, normally, celery doesn't get me excited, but I think it's actually gonna go really well with this. Let's get started. Our chicken is already boiling in the pot. We're just gonna do 1 chicken. We're gonna do a half recipe. I've got celery here. We've already chopped off the very tops and the very bottom, cut it down into our 1.5 inches or a little bit less. We're just gonna add these to our cooking pot and add water to it to get a little above the top. Let's get it boiling. We've got our bacon pan. We just poured the extra grease out. And here's our celery, and we're just gonna toss that in. We might not need all of it, so I'm gonna save back a little bit. That looks good. And we have a cup of cream. And this is more than a cup, so that's a cup of cream. We also have our butter that's already been rolled in flour. So it's giving us sort of a pseudo roux here. Off it goes into the pan. We're gonna keep stirring this until it thickens up nicely. Once it gets almost there, then I'll add the bacon. Here it is. It looks really good. It plated well. And we're gonna add just a hair of salt and pepper. And we've already squeezed just a little bit of lemon on top. I didn't put the salt and pepper in while it was cooking. I thought it'd be better to try it out here in the tasting phase. And our boiled chicken is nice and soft. Let me get a piece of celery specifically, because that's the real question here. Everybody knows the bacon's gonna be good. There we go. Oh, all this goes together so well. You know, the sauce is so nice and creamy. I mean, we cooked it on that fire until it got just that right, you know, thickness. It was really easy to do. Just cook it nice and slow. The bacon and the celery and the chicken go together with that creamy sauce, and that is a killer combination. This is very, very good. One of my favorite dishes that my wife makes is this amazing creamy carrots that's out of the French cookery book by Julia Child. And that creamy carrots recipe is just amazing. This creamy sauce that goes with these wonderfully tender carrots. And it very, very much reminds me of this sauce. But of course, we've added bacon and it's got celery along on top of that boiled chicken. It is the combination for this. It's very, very good. So sometimes it's the sauce that makes the dish. Make sure to check out this pork a la Norman episode that we did down at Conner Prairie.